What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Urban Platform Speaks. This is the live edition, and I'm going early today. I usually don't go on till 1 o'clock, but today I have some other things to take care of today, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started early today. And today's show is going to be about the WNBA. Those two playoff games that yesterday, man, they was something else. They was something else. Especially that second one, man, with the Lynx and the Suns. It was something else. And then you probably heard about what happened with Napheesa Collier on the last play. She got hurt. They think that she might have a fracture or something in her ankle. Right. She had a messed up ankle. What's the young lady? Alyssa Thomas stole the ball, and then while she stole the ball, she ran into Napheesa Collier. And if you haven't seen the play, you just go ahead and look it up online. But man, it was something else. But what I'm gonna do is, as soon as I check my let me check and make sure my volume is working. Okay, there it is. Good, good. All right, I got my volume working, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the press conference before I get into the game. I'm gonna talk about I'm gonna start with the Lynx, although the Fever and the Aces play first, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start with the Lynx because that game, just the way it ended, it just had so much more drama to it and controversy with that ending, right? And so let me go ahead and, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up that excuse me, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up that press conference that Cheryl Reeves got that she gave yesterday after the game because she was hot, she was mad, she was upset about that. And so let me hit that button. Oh, here we go.
When you let the physicality happen, people get hurt, there's fights, and this is the look that our league wants for some reason. We were trying to play through it. We tried to make excuses. One of the best players in the league shot 0 free throws. 0. And she had 5 pounds. 0 free throws. With her leg being taken out. And probably has a fracture. Okay. But I want to call for a change of leadership at the league level when it comes to officiating. It's bad for the game. The officiating crew that we had tonight, for the leadership to deem those 3 people semifinals playoff worthy is fucking malpractice. I can take an L with the best of them. I don't think we should have to play through more than what they did. They got players, Masha's on the glass, and it's fucking cracked. And there's no call. And all of them said it wasn't my call. I don't know. I didn't see it that way. They're fucking awful.
Okay, so y'all heard what she said, that like Napheesa Collier throughout the game, she felt like Napheesa Collier throughout the game wasn't getting any calls. She was getting beat up, right? And so even when I was watching this game earlier, throughout, I was like, the Mercury they play physical and they wear on you. So I knew that eventually, I didn't know that Napheesa was going to get hurt, but I knew that eventually that physical play was going to wear on the Lynx, and it was going to just take their toll. It was going to take its toll because they couldn't the Lynx couldn't get any separation, as far as the score was concerned. And then on top of that, they just wore on them like I thought they did, and they caught them coming down a stretch, and they beat them. Alyssa Thomas stole the ball, and while she was going for the steal, she ran into the leg of of Napheesa Collier, and then that's when Napheesa Collier went down on the very last play, right? But I want to go into some of the comments, right, of the people in the chat, right? And so what's this guy? Rick Mendoza says that she's not wrong. No lies told. This is a league-wide problem, and it's going to take the top coaches and elite players to be willing to take on the fines and speak out, right? You see less physicality in some hockey games this year. Yeah, I think that like I said, and I saw not only that play right there, like the play with Alyssa Thomas and Napheesa Collier wasn't really a dirty play, right? But because of Alyssa Thomas's her reputation, people, people question it and think that maybe it was, but it didn't look like it. Just looked like she just went across her body, going for the ball. The steal was clean, and then as a result of that, she hit Napheesa Collier's leg, and her she may have a fracture in her in her ankle. All right, so this is another comment says it's a league-wide problem, not just one player, not just one team or one player. Uh I'm not a fan of Reeves, but she's absolutely right tonight. I don't know the answer, but the league is going to have to address this after this season, right? And yeah, I can agree. And also this comment right here I want to get to, because this lady said that Cheryl wasn't saying that when CC got banged around constantly. It's different when it's her players. And I knew that somebody was gonna come up with that one and say, that this is a different, it's different when it was Cheryl Reeve's players. But like I said, man, like throughout this game, the physical play that the Mercury was doing, I just thought it was gonna catch up with him. And down the stretch, it caught up with him. They gave up the lead like with a few minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they wasn't able to catch back up. I'm basically, man, I just feel bad for Napheesa Collier. I know she missed a few games earlier this season because she was out. And then when she missed those games earlier this season, the Lynx was able to keep pace, and and then they didn't really fall off. And some people was even saying that, like, Napheesa is not even, like, at this point, she's still not even 100%. She still wasn't playing at 100%. And I can believe that, right? Because I didn't really see, she seemed different to me in playing. So I didn't really see her was able to go all out against this Phoenix, these Mercuries. And it's just, it's sad, man. I hope it's really not as bad as they think it is. But either way, I don't think she's probably gonna come back, maybe not even this series or so, but I don't know, maybe, be some good news there. And so now again, I watched that first game, right, with the Fever, and they played I don't even know what the score was to that game. The Fever and the Aces. Let me look up the score to that game, because now that game wasn't close. I think the Aces beat by like about 19 points or something like that. No, it wasn't 19. I think it was 11. My fault. It was about 11. But that wasn't, it wasn't in my opinion, I think the Aces control that game all the way, basically. Let me see. WNBA. Yeah. I think the Aces control that just about basically all the way. Let me see here. All right, so the score for that game, let me see. The score for that game was 76. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it was 82, 84, 82. So they won by 12. And in my opinion, Asia really didn't really have a standout game. She was okay. She was okay. So let me see what KP10, what KP10 says that Fee is not a GP player. She has no business handling the ball on the top of the key. Let me see. You reach, I teach. PG would have recognized the defender and stopped on a dime behind that step back three ball. Yeah, I don't know. Like I think what the Lynx was basically trying to do on that last play is they just was trying to get the ball in, right? I can agree that in that situation, you do want your point guard to go hard, to cut hard to the ball. Most teams would have had their point guard. That's a good point, though, KP10. Most teams would have had their point guard cutting hard to the ball. But sometimes when you have a player like Napheesa Collier, who is as versatile as she is, sometimes you're gonna have them doing things and have roles. Like sometimes you have a big man bring the ball up against a press sometime or help to alleviate that press if they got that skill set, and that's what she is. She got that skill set. But I don't know. It's like 2020. It's hindsight is 2020. We can say that Napheesa Collier shouldn't have been out at the top of the key. And with Alyssa Thomas, and she like a freight train. If that ball is anywhere around, she just gonna go hard. And so I'm hoping that it's not really as serious as they might think it is. But I just knew from the very beginning of that game, not that the Mercury, like their physicality was just going to wear down on them. And the Lynx have those small guards. Then you got the Mercury. They have that those big girls, like big guards with that athleticism, and it's hard for their guards, for the Lynx guard to really score on a consistent basis. Alyssa, and it really ain't nobody really trying to see Alyssa Thomas in that paint because like she just physical. Even if she box you out, she push you around, she lean on you for the entire game, and it just wear. I just knew it was going to wear on them for the entire game, right? So, and that's basically what happened. But let me talk a little bit about that Indiana Fever and the Las Vegas Aces game, right? I mean, yeah, in the Las Vegas Aces game, because I thought the Fever was able to stay in that game or at least keep it close because of Lexi Hall, right? Lexi Hall was, she got a few putbacks. Like whoever was playing Lexi Hall just allowed her to crash the board, and especially in that first half. I don't know if Becky Hammond said something to her. I think it was number 24. I'm not sure her name for the for the Aces, but on more than one occasion, I just seen Lexi Hall just run down there, get the ball, get a rebound, and put it back in. And it, to me, that's what kept it close. Lexi Hall, because Kelsey, like if they keying on Kelsey, they're gonna need somebody else like Lexi Hall. And Aaliyah Boston, she didn't really have the impact that they needed her to have in order for them to win this game. And like I said earlier, Asia Wilson, I think she didn't have she had like 13 points at one time. She ended up with like 15 points at the most. She may have ended up with like 15 points. Asia Wilson did, right? But for them to beat by like 12 points and Asia Wilson didn't really have the the standout performance, that just goes to show how good, like this team is primed and prepped and ready for that, for the I think for the championship. Now, if they do meet the Mercury, not to say that the Lynx are out of it, because like I said, the Lynx won some game. They won a good amount of games this year without Napheesa Collier. But I just think it's going to be hard for them to get past the Mercury because the Mercury is just so physical and they wear on you, and you need all your best players out there at all times, But yeah, man, Cheryl Reeves was leaving that. She was leaving that arena, and I don't have the video clip of that. But when Cheryl Reeves was leaving that arena, she just was cussing out fans and F you and all this other stuff. It was crazy. It got really, really wild at the end. Let me go back and play this Cheryl Reeves video again for people who didn't see it, people who just tuning in.
Just hearing Becky talk about when you let the physicality happen, people get hurt, there's fights. And this is the look that our league wants for some reason. We were trying to play through it. We were trying to make excuses. One of the best players in the league shot 0 free throws. 0, and she had 5 pounds. 0 free throws. Got her shoulder pulled out and finished the game with her leg being taken out and probably has a fracture. And so this is what our league wants. Okay. But I want to call for a change of leadership at the league level when it comes to officiating. It's bad for the game. The officiating crew that we had tonight, for the leadership to deem those 3 people semifinals playoff worthy is fucking malpractice. I can take an L with the best of them. I don't think we should have to play through more than what they did. We got players, Masha's on the glass, and it's fucking cracked. And there's no call. And all of them said, it wasn't my call. I don't know. I didn't see it that way. They're fucking awful.
All right, so you heard what Cheryl Reeve said, that she wants some changes as far as like officiating is concerned, because this how they've been playing though. Like, I don't know, this team reminds me of the bad boy Pistons, like the way that they play. Like, remember when the Pistons used to play? They just was a physical team that intimidated people and that just really just wore on you. And so that's what the Mercury remind me of, like the Pistons back in the day. But I do think that like one of the people said, one of the commenters said that you didn't hear Cheryl Reeves really complaining about the physicality of the league until her player got hurt, right? Until Napheesa got hurt. So but it is what it is, man. I think that, like, moving forward, if the league do something about it, that play to me though basically wasn't a dirty play, right? Just what really wasn't a dirty play, but because of the reputation of Alyssa Thomas, that's what people call it into question. What KP says, Kelsey Mitchell has no bag. The Aces were pushing her to her weak side, and whenever she drove to the rim, the Aces defense would collapse in the paint and get the block. Yeah, like Asia Wilson, like everybody know that she left-handed, and to play her to her, to force her to go right, force Kelsey to go right. And that's their strategy. Just let her go right. And then I saw Asia Wilson blocked her shot, and on a couple of occasions, like whenever she went too deep into the paint, what's the other girl that used to play for them? Alyssa, I forgot what her name was, but she, she affected the shot. Kelsey Mitchell shot. Asia blocked the shot. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it wasn't for Lexi Hall, though, following up some of those shots and knocking down some 3 they probably would not have even been that close if it wasn't for Lexi Hall. Like I said, the young lady whose responsibility it was to block Lexi Hall out, she just fell asleep a couple times, and Lexi Hall was able to get in there and get that rebound and put it back in there. Plus, Lexi, Lexi Hall played a hell of a game yesterday, though. Like I said, she kept it close, but Aaliyah Boston was pretty much ineffective because Aaliyah Boston, you really couldn't go to her consistently, because Asia Wilson cancels all that out. And I think Asia Wilson had like 4 fouls. Asia Wilson had 4 fouls, so now I'm not guaranteeing that the Aces will win, but I think that if the Aces meet up with the Mercury for the championship, I think that'll be a good series because you need somebody to go against the Mercury who's physical and who can match that physicality. And I think the Aces can do that. Although Aces got an older team, with the exception of one of the young point guard, they pretty much a veteran team. But I don't think that nobody else that's left in the playoffs really can match that physicality that the Mercury bring to the game. I think they play their style of basketball. Like I said, it's just, to me, it's unappealing. The Mercury style is unappealing, and so really, if you ask me, I think the Aces style is unappealing too. I would like to see the Fever and the Lynx go at it because I like both of their styles. I think that aesthetically their styles of play really look good, but it looked like it's probably going to be Phoenix and Las Vegas, man, and then who knows who's going to beat that. I'm probably going to wait to I see like the first game to make my I want to see how the Aces match, how they hold up against that physical play, like throughout the course of a game, because the Mercury just wear on you. They just constantly beat you up. They just constantly, harass you. And I want to see how, if the Aces, if both of these teams advance in the playoffs, I want to see, to the championship, I want to see how they match up against each other. But I don't know. But I don't know. And I don't want to seem like I'm counting out the Lynx. But Napheesa Collier, to me, she is like the heart and soul of the Lynx. And you can see why, Cheryl Reeve was so upset. Because that was a play, the game basically was over with. It was something that didn't really have to happen. And I don't know why she was out there receiving it. But see, I don't want to criticize that because, hindsight is 2020. Yeah, and so let me see. Aaliyah Boston was forced to help with Asia Wilson outside in the paint, and that would create space for Smith to cut to the basket to get a wide open layup. Very smart for Becky Hammond. Yeah, I thought that Becky Hammond, not just this series, but I thought that Becky Hammond, I thought throughout this whole season, she was doing a really good job of coaching. Like I said, early in the season, her team started out with a record they was less than under 500. Then at one point in time in the season, they got blown out by like 50 points. And they never really like pointed the fingers at each other. Nobody got thrown under the bus for the Las Vegas Aces. And it, it just clicked for them once at a certain point in the season, it just clicked for them. And they went on a run, and this young lady Smith, I forgot what her first name is, N. Smith, but she was playing with the last year she played with the Fever. And so I know now she's really enjoying, the success that they're having against the Fever, that matchup with her and Aaliyah Boston. Yeah, so Yeah, Aaliyah, they don't really have any help either with Aaliyah Boston. So you got Smith, you have Wilson, and you have another young lady who is I forgot her name, but the tall girl, she even taller than them. So they got, it's help down there for the Aces. And Becky Hammond, in my opinion, is doing a really good job of coaching. Oh, she did, like I said, throughout the season, she's done a really good job of coaching for them. So I don't know, but it is looking like, I'm not gonna say that the series is over with for the Fever, but I'm not gonna say the series is over with for the Lynx. But I will say that it's not looking good for either one of these teams, man. It's not looking good at all. I'm I'm hoping that um I'm hoping that the Lynx can do what they did earlier in the season, like when Napheesa Collier was out. Like I said, when Napheesa Collier was out, I'm not sure if she missed 9 games. I think she did miss like around 9 games. So when Napheesa Collier was out, they didn't really fall off too much. But they wasn't playing the Mercury they wasn't playing the Mercury every game either. So it's just, to me, it's just, I don't know. It's not looking all that good, right? So it's going to come down. I think in the championship, I think it's going to come down to the Aces and let me see, to the Aces and the Mercury, right? And so, yeah, man, two good games yesterday until that last play for the Lynx, I thought. And yeah, but it looked like it's going to be the Aces and the Mercury. And I'm, like I said, I'm not going to make a prediction until I see that after that first game, and I see how the Aces can hold up against that constant pressure, that constant beating. That constant beating of that they put on you. KP10 says, I totally agree. Natasha Howard and Stephanie White, biggest disappointment. She got pulled out of the game in the third quarter. That's how poor her defense was. She's supposed to be a vet. Yeah, yeah. For some reason, Natasha Howard is not. She's playing. Maybe it's the fit, right? Maybe she feel like she fits better with with the Aces than she did with Indiana Fever, because she do, to me, look like a different player. And it also seems like that with the Aces, she's more willing to accept her role. Like it seemed like when she was with the Fever, she wanted a larger role when she was with the Fever for some reason, and so that's probably part of the reason why she's not there either. But yeah, man, she's playing solid. She's putting in some solid minutes though for the Aces, and she's matching up really well. Um, going against and helping out Aaliyah Boston. Like I said, Aaliyah Boston really is not getting help in that low post from nobody else. So it's all on Aaliyah Boston. That big tall girl that Aaliyah Boston almost she got into it with. I said that's what I'm saying. When you don't even have to put Natasha Howard or Asia Wilson on her, and you put somebody in front of her that's tall, like that tall girl who they have. She got to work to get her shot, or get her shot off against that girl, and then when she beat her, now you got help coming from either Asia Wilson, or you got help coming from Natasha Howard. So that's tough. Then on top of that, you got Kelsey Mitchell. They're not letting her go left at all. So if it wasn't for the other young lady, Lexi Hall, then the game may not have been that close. And it was like, I think they won by like 12 points yesterday. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. I think that I don't know, when is the next. As a matter of fact, the next game I think is probably not until Monday, right? Let me look here. The 28th. I think that is Monday. Yep. Yeah. Yep. But let me see. Yeah. Oh no, that's Sunday. Oh, so they playing Sunday. Both teams, both games going to be on Sunday. Yeah, I don't think you know what, I really don't have anything else, man. I'm just looking forward to this next game from both of these teams. Um, I hope, in closing though, I hope that Napheesa Collier injury is not as serious as some people might think it is. I really do. And then if they can push it to a game 5, that'll make a great story. But I'm not sure, how serious her injury is. But I do think the series with the fever is basically over with. And so I don't know. It is what it is, man. With that being said, man, I don't have anything else to add as far as these two games. I thought they were good games, very entertaining. Let me see what before I get out of here. What Lexi Hall is a great player. She rebounds, assists, shoots, and she defends. Shout out to her. Yeah, I like what I saw from Lexi Hall yesterday, and this is not my first time seeing her play like that. She's like a Swiss Army knife. You know what I mean? Like she brings so many different things to the table. It can do so many. She gave her team what her team needed yesterday, right? They needed rebounding and they needed her 3-point shooting. And that's what she did. Also, she played tough defense, but it's just that they didn't have, like the offensive firepower. They didn't have that offensive firepower to you needed more than just Lexi Hall and Kelsey Mitchell. You needed more than that because, like I said, Aaliyah Boston they rendered her ineffective. Basically, she got some points here and there and was able to help out here and there, but she really wasn't able to do anything on a consistent basis, in my opinion. So that's what that was, though. But KP, man, KP 10. I appreciate your input, and yeah, that's all I have for right now. I want everybody to make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to tune in tomorrow. We'll be back. I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. We're going to be talking about talking some NFL football tomorrow, giving our pregame predictions. And yeah, so I'm out of here for the day. But with that being said, man, y'all tune in tomorrow at 11, and I'll see y'all on the next podcast. Peace.